So what I believe you were trying to say is thank you.
Thank you?
You're welcome.
What? No. I didn't. I wasn't. Why would I ever say that? I mean,
Moana 2 just dropped, and one big question now is whether we'll get a Moana 3. It might seem like a no-brainer, but a lot of Disney and Pixar movies have stopped at 2 films. Think Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Monsters, Inc., and even Frozen and Inside Out so far. It's rare for a movie to hit the 3 mark like Toy Story, and now we're getting a 5th one. But Moana 3, there are 2 solid reasons to think it's basically a sure thing. First off, the box office. Disney couldn't care less about Moana's drop in critic scores from a 95 to a 65%, even if it's the biggest decline between sequels. The audience ratings are still solid, and that's translating into huge earnings. Moana 2 just broke the record for the biggest opening ever for an animated film, debuting with $135 million and already climbing to $717.8 million globally. Projections are saying it could hit $1 billion soon. For comparison, the first Moana made $643 million in total. It also looks like Moana 2 could end up being the second or third highest grossing film of the year, just behind Inside Out 2's $1.69 billion. The movie opened a bit higher at $154 million, but with competition from hits like Wicked and Gladiator 2, I'm guessing Moana 2 won't reach that mark. Here's what Disney had to say about Moana 2's box office success. Moana 2 has far surpassed our high expectations this weekend and is a testament to the phenomenon that Moana has become, said Alan Bergman, Disney Entertainment co-chairman. We're fortunate to have an incredibly talented and hardworking creative team at Disney Animation who brought this new adventure to life alongside our wonderful stars Auli'i and Dwayne and great new music. This is a moment to celebrate, and we're thankful to all of the moviegoers and fans who've helped make this a record-breaking debut. Moana and Maui being described as phenomenons makes them sound like the new Woody and Buzz for today's audience. Moana has also evolved way beyond the traditional Disney princess mold. Beyond the box office, the movie itself sets up a future threat in a mid-credit scene, clearly hinting at a potential sequel. This scene feels like a cliffhanger, which suggests Disney is planning ahead. Moana 2 was initially thought to be a Disney Plus series, but since Disney has clearly shifted gears, and Moana 3 will definitely be a movie. With everything pointing in that direction, it seems like it's all but confirmed. But Moana 3 faces a big challenge after Moana 2's credit scene set things up for a potential sequel. While Moana 2 was a fun, if slightly flawed, return for the character, who's now one of Disney's biggest stars, the film followed Moana, Maui, and their crew on a mission to undo a curse caused by the dangerous deity Nalo. In the end, they succeed, and Moana even gets a major power boost. Given how successful Moana 2 has been, it's almost a given that Disney will want to make a third movie. There's plenty of room for a new adventure, with a credit scene hinting at where a sequel could go. But that tease might also set up a problem. It risks repeating the same kinds of conflicts and storylines from Moana 2. If Moana 3 wants to be even bigger than the second film, it'll need to avoid falling into that trap. Moana 2's credit scene sets up Moana 3's villain and storyline, but it could risk feeling too repetitive. After Moana breaks Nalo's curse and restores humanity's ability to navigate the open sea, she returns home and sets off on a new adventure. However, the credits reveal that Nalo isn't done with Moana. He's planning his revenge. His first move is to punish Matangi for helping Moana instead of stopping her. The scene also brings back Tamatoa, the giant crab from Moana, who still holds a grudge against Moana and Maui for stealing Maui's magical hook. With Nalo and Tamatoa teaming up, Moana 3 could see Nalo as the main antagonist, with his revenge-driven quest posing a significant threat. However, this storyline may feel too familiar, as Nalo's motivations in Moana 2 were more about setting up the plot than developing his character. If Moana 3 leans too much on these same conflicts, it could end up feeling repetitive. Moana 3 could end up feeling way too similar to Moana 2. If they bring back the same villains, it might come across as repetitive. There's plenty of potential for the next movie, with Moana becoming a demigod and her world opening up to new ocean explorations. But the way Moana 2 wraps up could set up things that just feel like more of the same. The end credits hint at Nalo and Tamatoa returning, and their motivations seem to be all about getting back at Moana, Maui, and humanity. That could make Moana's journey feel too much like Moana 2, which might take away from any sense of adventure. Disney movies usually stick to familiar patterns, and it looks like Moana 3 might do the same. It's probably not going to end on a sad note, with Nalo defeating the heroes and humanity falling apart. Instead, like most Disney movies, the heroes will probably come back from the brink and head off on a bigger adventure. Even Nalo's attempt to strip Maui of his powers was undone at the end of Moana 2, showing how the franchise isn't too keen on breaking away from the usual storytelling style. So Moana 3 will likely follow the same arc as the second movie. Moana 3 needs to stand out from Moana 2 if it's going to be a hit. Just rehashing the same plot or following the same tone would only lead to criticism for being repetitive and wouldn't push the story forward. If it sticks too closely to Moana 2, critics might even say it falls short of the original. Bringing back the same villains won't be enough to excite fans who love Moana's adventurous spirit. To truly shine, Moana 3 needs to take a different direction with its tone or storyline. This would give it a better shot at surpassing Moana 2 in terms of critical praise. There's still plenty of room to expand Moana's story, even with Nalo as a looming threat. The movie could dive deeper into the world's hierarchy of gods, introducing new deities who get involved in Nalo's battle with Moana. With Moana becoming a demigod, there's also a possibility that she could outlive her loved ones. A time jump in Moana 3 could show this, showing an older version of her sister or her parents growing older. The movie could also explore other aspects of Moana's world, like introducing a romantic subplot or getting into the dangers of the open ocean and the realm of the monsters. Moana 2 set up multiple directions the story could go, and simply repeating what worked in the first two films would be a mistake. To reach the same heights as Moana and Moana 2, the third film needs to move beyond the familiar and take the story in a fresh direction. One thing Moana 3 definitely needs is the return of Lin-Manuel Miranda. His absence in Moana 2's soundtrack was noticeable. While the songs in Moana 2 weren't bad and did a good job of fitting the themes, they didn't have the same lasting impact as the first movie's songs. Lin-Manuel Miranda, alongside Mark Mancina and Opetaya Fawali, was a huge part of what made Moana's soundtrack so memorable. Songs like How Far I'll Go, You're Welcome, and Shiny still stick with people years later. While Abigail Barlow and Emily Baird did their best to fill the gap in Moana 2, their songs just didn't hit the same way. For Moana 3 to stand out and recapture that magic, bringing Miranda back for the music would be key. If he does, the film could have the best soundtrack in the franchise. Bringing Miranda back along with a team of Mark Mancina, Opetaya Fawai, Abigail Barlow, and Emily Bair would let Moana 3 build on the promising songs from Moana 2 while bringing back the magic Miranda created in the first movie. This could result in a soundtrack that's diverse while still capturing the catchy, unforgettable songs that were missing in Moana 2. Well, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this and other exciting upcoming movies. See you next time!